The world did not whisper Alexander Sterling's name. It trembled beneath it. He was the kind of man whose silence carried more weight than 1,000 words, whose gaze could disarm the strongest of men and still command their loyalty. In the heart of London, where power dressed in silk and corruption wore cologne, he reigned as a phantom monarch, no crown, no throne. Just influence so potent it blurred the line between fear and worship. By day he was an elegant incarnate, tailored in black, the quiet hum of his cufflinks worth more than most men's fortunes. His voice, low and deliberate, rarely rose above a murmur. Yet when he spoke, rooms fell silent, as if even the walls bent to listen. The Sterling Empire stretched from boardrooms to back alleys, a network built not by chaos, but by precision. Alexander never raised his hand unless he meant to end something, an argument, a deal, or a life. But true kings rarely sleep peacefully. Behind the gleam of luxury, behind the private jets and marble towers, lay a man haunted by the ghosts of his own restraint. For every calculated decision came a consequence soaked in blood or betrayal. He had learned early that emotion was weakness, and weakness was death. So he trained himself to feel nothing, to lead, not love, to command, not connect. Until her. The first time he saw Soroya Daniels, she was not meant to be noticed, a maid quiet as moonlight, dressed in black and white like the rest. But her silence struck him harder than any voice ever had. There was something familiar in her stillness, something raw, unbroken, and dangerous. She reminded him of himself before he became the quiet king. And in that reflection, he found both fascination and fear. He tried to ignore it. Kings didn't fall for servants. But she wasn't a servant. She was a secret the world hadn't learned to fear yet. The more he watched her, the more the walls he'd built began to tremble. Her silence was not submission, it was survival. And that more than anything pulled him into her orbit. It began with simple glances, her eyes meeting as across the Sterling estate's marble corridors, neither speaking, both understanding. Then came the moments, the ones that bled into nights, the way she would lower her head when he passed, not out of fear, but defiance masked as grace, the way she moved with quiet precision, as if she knew power and pain had the same rhythm. He told himself she was just another worker, but every time he caught her staring at the city skyline through his office window, something in him broke a little more. For the first time in years, Alexander felt alive, and that terrified him. Because love in his world wasn't a blessing, it was a weapon. And anything he loved either vanished or bled. Outside, London slept beneath rain and neon, unaware that inside Sterling Tower, a war was beginning. Not of bullets or blood, but of restraint and desire, a silent storm between a king who ruled through quiet control and a woman whose silence could unravel everything he had built. He knew what she would cost him. But Alexander Sterling had always believed that control was the highest form of power. He was about to learn that love was its most dangerous illusion. And as dawn bled over the skyline, the quiet king stood at the window of his penthouse, sipping black tea, his reflection divide between light and shadow. He watched the city he owned come alive beneath him, unaware that the empire he built was about to be tested by the only thing he couldn't command, her heart. Because even kings, especially the quiet ones, bleed when the right woman whispers their name.